Okay, welcome. So today I wanted to just talk a little bit about the launch of the film, which is this Saturday at midday. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the webinars that we have been running over the last week. We've got another one tomorrow. And talk a little bit about my wife's funeral, which is on Monday. So, so just getting that sense that this is probably one of the most intense weeks of my life. Um, we've had a webinar with Nick Duffel, Martin Lloyd-Elliott, Zena Me, talking about leadership, the global impact of boarding school. That was Monday. And tomorrow we've got Dr. Kathy Wield, we've got Alex Renton, Dino Nocivelli, Dan Perry, talking about the path of healing and taking action. What can we do post boarding school, childhood trauma, and with the state of leadership, etc. So it feels busy, and each time personally I get to that point, I'm a 10. I've mentioned this before. On the Saturday, I said to my wife, this was the 8th of February, I said, look, I'm at a 10. I just can't cope. I really need your help and to support me. Next day she died, and it was that feeling that I thought I was at a 10, but then add on the impact of my wife dying. It's like, actually, I realized I was just a 4, and I've had that quite a lot this last month, thinking, oh, I'm at a 10, I just can't cope now. And actually realizing, no, there's still more. And I think the important thing is, it's like, I remember that formula of stress plus rest equals growth. The stress is not a bad thing, but if we don't rest, so that's something that I am, making sure I have each day. I'm sat barefoot in the garden, I'll come and meditate out here, breathe, I'll do my exercise, I connect to friends, get to bed early, read, so I have downtime. So I think that's really important. Doesn't matter how difficult life becomes, it's always make sure you rest. You have that time to stop. So so Saturday is the release of the film. So we're just going to release it for a week at the beginning, and the reason being is that we've been working on this for 3 years now, and because we're such a small team, we need to manage the payment, we need the downloads, to keep an eye on everything. And my wife's funeral's next week. It's going to be very busy. So after a week of it being up, we're going to take it down, probably for a month, just so we have a break, we have a rest. I need some time off, a holiday, and then we'll put it up again. So but we just realised this is what we need as a team. We're pretty exhausted at the moment, so that's exciting. We're going to offer the film. There's 2 options. One is the film on its own, and then another option is extras. So you can watch the interview with Gabor Mate, watch the interview with Nick Duffel, Suzanne Zedijk, and others who are in the documentary. So for those people who want to just go into more depth and really study, what is the impact? Are our leaders traumatized? And what's the history of these schools, and has that flowed into capitalism and the British Empire? So it's just, if you want to go deeper, then that's the plan with the extra package, the bonuses. And while I'm organising this, Ben, Simon, Shearer, and have been amazing, and you guys have been so supportive. At the same time, organising the funeral, my wife's funeral, which is Monday. It's been challenging, to be honest. Had a great group of friends supporting me, but I felt the last few weeks my head hasn't been that clear. So to plan, what's the right thing? But I've always kept coming back to just a really joyful, community-orientated event. I'm going to sing a song. There's going to be poems that she's written, which her godchildren will read out. There'll be some chanting. There'll be we'll decorate the coffin. It's a beautiful willow coffin. So yeah, so I'm sure it'd be very emotional for me and many others. And yeah, bless her. And just noticing myself is trying not to go into victim, poor me, staying in that heart center to grieve, but yeah, not go into woe is me with that. You know, she was always such a support. So yeah, so it's exciting on one level. It's challenging. Funeral next week. Got family, friends coming for the funeral, and you know, there's a lot to do, a lot to organise, especially for the film launch. But yeah, my invitation to you guys is, you know, once it goes live, I'll put a video on Saturday just to let you know. But please share it. You know, please share it far and wide. If it's family or if it's people, it's like I say in the film. It's one person at a time. This message will get out there. And, you know, if you've not seen the webinars yet, you know, there's two which are up at the moment, which is Nick Duffels talking about leaders, and then last week Suzanne Zedike and Warren Larkin and Simon Partridge, Morag Edwards talking about, you know, what is boarding school syndrome, the impact on the child and the adult they become. And they're just amazing conversations. Really, it's, you know, people said after conversation on Monday, it's exciting. Things are going to change, and they are changing. And they change one person at a time, and we just take one step forward. You know, my vision, as I've shared many times, is to close early boarding by 2035, you know, under 16, you know, over 16, great. Convert those boarding schools into sixth form colleges, bring in trauma awareness, trauma informed ACEs into all schools, you know, state, and, you know, transition the schools into that. Mandatory reporting, you know, still not in place, so getting that kind of done. And then the fourth point is like, let's create, you know, a new generation of leaders, heart-centered, compassionate, enlightened leaders. That was one of the things Martin was talking about on Monday, Martin Lloyd-Elliott, about enlightened leadership. And, you know, for me, these schools, they don't create enlightened leaders. They don't create emotionally intelligent leaders. They create command and control leaders, which is the old model. It was for the empire, you know, but it doesn't work anymore. We're emotionally intelligent, and, you know, this is where we're moving towards. So I think it's exciting. So yeah, bless you. Thank you for your support. Yeah, it's been an intense month, and yeah, like I've said before, a bit of a cosmic joke. It's like the busiest, most intense period of my life, and then my wife dies, and I've been missing her so much. And yeah, if you have someone special in your life or families, like, please appreciate them. Appreciate them, that they're here now. You know, hold them in your heart. So bless you all, and thank you so much for your support. It means so much. So.